Hey planty people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am in love with houseplants, and I'm going to show you guys some houseplants that I'm currently like even more in love with than normal. If that was even possible, I didn't realize that it was, but sometimes new growth happens, or maybe a plant that wasn't doing so well like decides that it's going to do well like out of nowhere. Sometimes that happens and it just makes you like reappreciate and re-fall in love with your plants. That's me today. But I just wanted to show you guys a few of my current favorite plants that I'm just absolutely swooning over at the moment. Could change tomorrow, but as of today, as of this moment, these are some of my favorite houseplants that I currently own. Now, you're gonna look at this and be like, Heather, that's not really a plant. This is a Monstera elbow wet stick that I took from my elbow right here. Now, this is just like kind of an experiment. Now, my Monstera came with like a really big chunk and then a vine that came off of the chunk, and it has this little auxiliary bud right there. I think you guys can see it, and it's got quite a bit of roots on it already, so I thought that it would be kind of fun and interesting to just go ahead and chop it and see if that auxiliary bud will activate. And I have really high hopes for it, and I'm really excited about it. I think that this is probably one of the most exciting things that I've, like, I don't know, since I've, like, I can't articulate today. I just can't articulate. This is one of the most exciting things that I've done in a little bit, and I'm just excited. I hope that she activates, because that would be just like, that would just be super fun and exciting. And I just love whenever you can do like new and exciting things with your plants. Like, I am trying to propagate less and just like enjoy my plants and enjoy the new growth that comes out. But there's a few plants that I will be chopping soon because they're just not doing very well. But this is just a nice little experiment. There wasn't any like foliage coming off of it anyway, so it's not really hindering the growth of the original Monstera. It just might be creating an extra one. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope that she does well. Now, I have a feeling that you guys are gonna be like, that's not a really cool plant. Boom. Look at that little lifesaver. It's so cute. This is a Hawaiian Zebrina, and it's like a little succulent slash cactus. And I do pretty good with this dude. There's not a lot of like cacti and succulents that I do really well with, except for this guy. And I only water him whenever he gets really wrinkly, and I have two of them actually, and they seem to do okay. I water them maybe once a month, if that. But yeah, they produce these really cool little lifesaver type of blooms, and I think they're just like, I just want to squeeze it. I want to squeeze it and just, let me smell it. I don't really smell anything off of it, so that's interesting. Yeah, I really love this guy. I think he's so cute and adorable, and more people should totally own him. He's so fun. I think I've had him for about a year now, so yeah, he's cool. He's cute. Okay, my next two are, actually my next three, are going to be orchids. Ooh, I know that not a ton of people love orchids, but I really like orchids, and I think you should too, because it's so fun. And look how pretty their foliage is. I just love them. But these are the Paphiopedilums. I feel like I always say it wrong. But the reason why I am like absolutely in love with these is not only because of the foliage, but I am getting some really good new growth on them. I'm so excited. Look how pretty that is. This foliage is just like killer to me. I love it. I will not be putting out any type of care until, you know, I don't know, I'm still like really experimenting. This is like my first year with like orchids. I've had 2 phalaenopsis for probably 2 years, and I've never got them to bloom once. So I still feel like I can't put out any type of care tips or anything like that. But I think most of my issue with those guys was that I wasn't watering them as frequently as I should have. And every single time they would put out a new leaf, an older leaf would die off. And so it was just a never-ending cycle of both of the phalaenopsis like having the exact same amount of leaves as they did previously, even though they're putting out new growth. But anyway, this is my Paf Maculi Curtisii. Yeah, he's really cool. He's kind of like yellowy, not quite yellowy, but has like a hint of yellow in him. I love him. He's so cute. And here is my other one. He is doing way better than that one. He has this giant new growth on him. Obviously, I was watering one of them more frequently than the other one. They're both just in complete moss, and I just water them as soon as I notice that the moss is dry. Like right now, it's like, you know, pretty crunchy. Like I can just wiggle this around. They need to be watered. So I'm going to be doing that after this video. But yeah, that's how I've been kind of like watering them, and they seem to be enjoying it as of late. I really like this one. I think the foliage is really, really unique on it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love orchids. Now, this orchid is probably gonna look a little meh to some people, like at least on my Paphiopedilums. They have like that really, really cool and exotic foliage. This is my next one. I really love him. I think he's so cool. He's got this big old chunk right here. He looks like an onion. Like, look at that dude. He looks so fun. One of the reasons why I'm just in love with this Boba phylum is because, one, he's just got this big old chunk, and because I've got him to put out this brand new growth right here, and I love him so much. Like, the way I can tell that he needs to be watered is if you see all that wrinkling right there, he'll get a little bit more wrinkled, and then I will give him a really, really good soak. So yeah, right now the new growth is taking a lot of nutrients from this, like the main part, the mother plant, the mother portion of the plant. And so he's taking a lot of his nutrients, and so after I water him really, really thoroughly, he's still got a little bit of wrinkling on him, but I don't want to overwater at all because I'm just afraid of killing him. I want to water him one good time really, really thoroughly, and then just wait for him to get to the extent of wrinkly that I know he needs to be watered. Like I know in my head, like when I see that he needs to be watered, then I'll water him. Even though he could probably go for a little bit of a drink, I don't really want to chance it. I think that we've got a good thing going, so I'm just gonna, you know, keep doing what I'm doing and hope for the best, because that's been working out pretty good for me. Now, I feel like as Heather Hoyas, it would be a crime, an absolute houseplant crime, to not mention a Hoya that I am absolutely, positively in love with this month. And no better one to start off with, or actually, this is the only one in the video, but no better one than this Hoya larissa. Now, it is sold to me as a Hoya larissa splash, but we're just gonna call her a Hoya larissa. Look at all of these aerial roots. She lives in my prop box. As you can tell, my prop box has perlite all at the bottom. She is having the time of her life. She's putting out a ton of new roots. I probably need to repot her, especially since it's gonna be a little bit of a nightmare to try and not break all those roots off whenever I pull her out and try and repot her. So I should probably do that sooner rather than later. So it's a good thing that I pulled this guy out. But I think this dude is so pretty. Like, look at that foliage. This looks like a little turtle shell. I don't know what it is, but I think it looks like a little turtle shell. It's really, really hard. And yeah, she sun stresses quite nicely too. I didn't really get any of the other leaves of sun stress, but for some reason this one decided it wanted to hella sun stress. And I'm here for it. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. Thank you, Brooks Planty Journey, for sending me this absolutely fabulous Philodendron glorious. So, the reason why this guy is in my favorites right now is because, Brooke sent me this Philodendron glorious. At first, she was just this with the, like this stick right here, this stem, and I was kind of worried that maybe it was like a spent node, or like, because I was looking and I was like, where's the new growth gonna come at? I was just watering it and just trying to make sure I kept it alive, and then all of a sudden the new growth started springing up from, let me see if I can get in there and show you guys. It started coming from, oh my goodness, it's very difficult, try not to rip it. It started coming out of the sheath, like out of the stem. Like the new growth started coming out from right there, and I was totally not expecting that, and it produced this really, really beautiful new leaf. And it's not quite yet, it's almost there, but not quite yet has she hardened off all the way, but I think she is a freaking stunner. Stunner, baby, stunner. I have one more philodendron to show you. I was gonna say that I think this is the only philodendron. And also I have 2 more Hoya to show you. I don't know why I was thinking that I only have 1 Hoya to show you. But yeah, 1 more philodendron after this dude. But she's so cute and she deserves a little bit of spotlight. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my pride and joy. This plant was on my wish list for forever. God, I am so happy to own this plant. I wish that I wouldn't have purchased it the way that I purchased it, but I have her and I love her, and it's really truly all that matters. That is my Philodendron El Choco Red. I don't even know how to get her into frame, but this is the newest growth. This was the one before it, and this is one of the leaves that came with it, and boop! Look at that dude. He's got this beautiful new leaf coming out. I am just so excited for it to completely unravel, because that's gonna be a honkin' new leaf. I can't wait to see it. I think she's gonna be beautiful. I love this plant. This plant, I think, is not quite dropping in price, but it is dropping a little bit, but just not like severely, because these plants were selling at like 300 plus, but I think you can get them a little bit cheaper now. But I just love this dude. If you're on the fence as to whether or not, let me show you the undersides. That's what the undersides look like. Really pretty. But if you were on the fence as to whether or not you wanted to buy an El Choco, whether or not you think it's worth it, I 100% think it's worth it. I feel like I get a new leaf probably monthly, and I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, if you think monthly isn't enough for you to invest in a plant, and this isn't really an investment plant for me. This is a plant that, sure, like later on, if it gets really, really big, will I take a cutting? Maybe. But like, as of right now, I have absolutely no plans on taking any cuttings anytime soon of this guy. I just love this plant. This was a wish list plant for quite some time, and I really just want to be selfish and keep it for myself as long as I possibly can. But like I said, if it gets outrageously big, then I will definitely take a cutting or 2. But I love this dude. I think she's so cool. Definitely worth the hype. IMO. Now, this Hoya I don't show very often unless I'm showing like a houseplant tour, and it's because she's in a spot where I don't really film, or I mean I go into it pretty much daily, but I don't bring you guys in there like ever because I only have like 2 plants in there. But this is my Hoya lacquinosa splash, or snow caps. So this was sold to me as a snow caps, but there's only like a few vines on there that are actually like really snow capsy, and it's definitely got a ton of blooms. She's always blooming for me, got a ton of peduncles. I love this plant very much. She's in leca. I literally the only care that I give this plant is once the leca runs out of water, I fill it back up, and that's it. I make sure that I give her some good light, but she probably could really use a good repotting, but I am just too lazy to do anything about it. Plus, I just absolutely love the way that she is hanging right now. I think she looks so freaking lush. I love this dude so much. She's so pretty and so lush. I could just stare at her all day if I had the time. Yeah, this is Hoya lacquinosa snow caps. And last but certainly not least, I think that this is a staple plant of mine, and I'm going to have to insert some footage for you because I'm not taking her down off the shelves. And that is going to be both of my regular old green form Hoya Bella. I love Hoya Bella so freaking much. It like almost makes me emotional how much I love that plant. That plant is like one of the plants that just like really like hit home for me, and I just fell in love with that plant, and it's like what really made me get into houseplants. I love Hoya Bella so freaking much. I mean, I know she's just like a regular old green girl, but she's so special to me because I just aspire to have a Hoya Bella like Betsy Begonia. Betsy was, I've mentioned her a million times in my videos, but I just absolutely loved her content, and she had this absolutely giant Hoya Bella. She probably still has it. And I just aspire to have one like hers. And these two have been blooming for me this year. I'm so happy and excited, and also kind of mad at them because they're wrinkling a lot, and I feel like I'm watering them constantly, but they just keep wrinkling. But they're blooming these precious, like really like pearlescent and pink blooms, and I just think that they're so beautiful. I love this plant. This is my all-time favorite plant. If you don't like Hoya Bella, you better get out of here. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please list in the comments down below what your top 5 favorite plants are at the moment, because I'm sure we can relate in some shape or form. And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure and put this emoji in your comment down below. I see you. I see you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Bye, guys.
I can't help but feeling just loving